I record my audio for these videos on my phone, and I thought maybe if I started the recording app while I made the phone call, it would pick up the clearance that I received on the ground, but it did not. So I'll summarize it real quick. It was pretty straightforward. Again, in my previous video, I said I don't do this very often. This is probably, honestly, only the second or third time I've gotten a clearance on the ground. I generally will file, and then I'll get into the air, assuming that it's VFR, and just pick it up in the air. But today, I would have to be down at like 1,500 feet, 1,800 feet, something like that. And based on my experience in this area, sometimes it's hard to get approach at that level, and it just didn't make sense. So I decided to get it on the ground. No big deal. I decided to get all of my pre-flight run-up, everything done, and position myself at the hold short line before I made that phone call. Because this is a super low-use airport, that was no problem. I was the only one there, basically. So I called them up, and they gave me pretty much as follows. Cleared to Indianapolis as filed, which I just filed direct. Climb 3,000, expect 6,000 after 10 minutes. Frequency was 118.8, and the squawk code was 5754. The only difference with this clearance, they said maintain runway heading, climb to 3,000, and the clearance was valid for 10 minutes, which is actually quite a long time. Usually it's 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. So he basically gave me 10 minutes to get off the runway and then said, upon entering controlled airspace, contact departure. So it was very straightforward. They did also ask what runway I was departing from and what position I was in. I was departing 27 and I was number 1 ready to go. Now, if it was a busier airport and I couldn't be holding short in position, then I would have to call him back. But in this case, I said, hey, I'm number 1. I'm ready to go. He just said, okay, hang on. He was coordinating with the system. I probably had to wait for a minute or two. He came back and said, okay, you're released for departure. So again, I had that 10-minute window, which I only needed a minute or so. Because I made that phone call, it really messed up my recording app, and I had to turn off Bluetooth and do all this stuff to get it recording again. So I lost a lot of audio at the beginning of this, but the video picks up when I'm talking to Tracy about that clearance. She was confused, and looking at this back, it kind of there's a little gap in what we're talking about exactly, but she was just confused that she didn't understand why I couldn't have filed Pontiac, Linden, or 9 Golf 2, and then Indianapolis in one filing, and I had to do a whole nother flight plan. But I was just explaining, once you make a full stop, you have to have multiple flight plans that are in there. So that's what we were talking about. Anyway, here's the flight to Indianapolis.
I mean, I could scuds run along. The clouds are 1,900 feet, though. So I had to get my clearance from the departure on the phone. And they said basically that
But I thought when you were in Pontiac, you said that's what you were doing.
No, that was for the flight between Pontiac and here. But that flight was done.
But you didn't continue it and just figure...
You can't. If you stop, you can't. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You have to do
a
whole...
you couldn't do you couldn't file it Pontiac Linden IFR. Pontiac...
No, if you just did a touch and go, yes.
Oh, okay.
But if you're doing a full stop,
oh.
yeah, they're 2 different flight plans.
And you don't do it till you land. You can't do it till you land?
No, I filed it before, but you filing it and picking up the clearance are 2 different things.
Oh,
so
really?
I filed the flight plan in Pontiac a while ago, and then but I had to pick up the clearance, and because there's no control tower here, I had to call them on the phone, and so they said, okay, hey, you're ready to go. You got 10 minutes. If you're not in the airborne in 10 minutes, that clearance is void. And so as soon as I take off, then I'll be talking to them, and I don't have to pick it up in the air.
I see. I didn't realize that. I figured once you filed, they gave you clearance and that was it, period.
No. I wish.
I don't like all those damn birds there. God.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Linden traffic, Cirrus 524, Charlie, departing 27 straight out Linden.
All right, let's just get this set up to 3,000. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Half hour behind. It's pretty smooth up here today, though.
Said there's a slight headwind.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like how much? What, like?
We'll see what it was forecast at, like 12 knots, but we'll see what it is.
You'll have to show me Chelsea's house again.
Yeah, when we land. Well, it'll be nighttime when we land.
Oh.
All right, let's go over to departure. Let's go autopilot on. Clean this thing out.
600.
Caps is available. That's good, that's good. Let's get some heat going in here. It's a little chilly.
Detroit departure, Cirrus 524, Charlie, 1900, climbing 3000, runway heading.
November 524, Charlie, Great Lakes departure right on.
See, we're in the soup already, see that?
November 524, Charlie, radar contact 3 miles west of the Linden Price Airport at 2,200. 1 altimeter 3000, I maintain 6,000, continue current heading for now.
All right, climb maintain 6,000 and current heading, 524, Charlie.
All right, let's go to our climb checklist. Climb power set, mixtures leaning, flaps are up and verified, engines all looking good. Fuel pump is on boost. So, yeah, it was kind of a very eventful morning. It was the shortest, I'll probably put that video out and call it the shortest IFR flight ever. Like, it was 18 miles.
Space is 18, Mike.
But we'll be up in the sun here momentarily, which is nice. Right?
Yeah. Will be nice to see some sunshine.
Yeah, it'll be nice. We haven't seen sunshine in, I don't know, over a week. 2 weeks, yeah. 3,300 climbing, 6,000. And you can see our route today is pretty much.
There's a 324 Charlie, turn left, direct Indianapolis, contact Great Lakes Express, 18.65.
Direct Indy and now over to approach at 1865, 524 Charlie.
All right, we'll start heading that way. And we'll get this set up direct, activate direct, and then we'll go into nav mode.
Wait.
Great Lakes departure, Cirrus 524 Charlie, climbing 6,000, direct destination.
Cirrus 524 Charlie, Great Lakes approach, flight 302 9er.
2999er.
All right. Long arms.
Got a longer hand.
Over 963 Foxtrot, contact short approach 132.35, 3235, you have a good one.
Nice up here. Again, if it stays IFR, by the time we leave or whatever, like, I'm gonna take you back to Pontiac because IFR at night into that field, like I don't want to have to do that and then launch right back in. Like, there's no reason to just compound the problem.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Okay. I just don't think that ceiling's gonna lift much throughout the day, but we'll see. All right, leveling off. Let's pull this power back to about 75%.
Great Lakes approach. Good morning, 256 Delta Victor's 14.8, descending to 11,000. We've got Zulu at Grand Rapids.
November 256 Delta Victor, Great Lakes approach, set to maintain 10,000, asking altimeter 2999er.
2999er down to 10,000, 6 Delta Victor, and if possible, could we get either direct Hapig or Cavis for the RNAV 26 left?
So we'll go ahead and start setting up already for Indianapolis. Let's see what the weather's saying right now there. Few clouds at 700. That was at 14:54, so about 45 minutes ago. Low winds 140. They have a runway at 140, which is good. Few clouds at 700. So they just have some like that's more like a little bit of fog because the next layer is at 15,000, and altimeter is almost the same as what we've got here. Let's get their frequency set up. We're going to go ATIS into the active COM2 and the ground in standby COM2. That's all she wrote. We're not doing too bad. The wind's really, it's going to switch a little bit, but right now it's just at our side. Oh, this is what I wanted to test with you, or
November 256 Delta Victor, you said you wanted HAPIC?
so let's go to map.
If we can get HAPIC for the RNAV 26 left, that'd be awesome.
I'm going to change this to track up.
Delta Victor,
Remember our last video?
Roger, you can proceed direct to HAPIC.
Direct HAPIC,
Okay.
Delta Victor, thank you.
Now, does this map make more sense to you? You see where we're on here? This has basically changed the map orientation.
I know, but back out a little bit so I can see kind of like, oh. All right. And wait, so
What?
like, I don't, all right,
Okay,
so.
we're right here.
Yep.
Yep,
And
just
then-
departed
And then
Linden. We're going, it's basically putting the map in the orientation that we're facing.
yes.
So we're heading to Indianapolis, it's ahead of us along this track.
Yes.
That makes more sense.
Of course.
Of course.
God.
Okay, well, wait a second. See, to me, that is, unless I've got storms around and I want to bounce between them, and this little heading bug will show me like where I'm going. That's the only time I use this. Other than that, like this confuses the hell out of me. So I go to Northup because I feel like it's like looking at a piece of paper map.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I know where I'm at.
I understand that
on a piece
too.
of paper.
I get it now.
But it's easier for you to
Yeah,
grasp track up.
yeah.
Today 6 Delta Victor, descend to maintain 8,000, contact approach 128.4.
It is what it is. I think like I said, you're the norm. I
Down
think
8,000
I think
and
most people
24, 6 Delta Victor, have a good day.
think of it that way. Because in reality, like that's how I drive the car. The car is heading up or track up. The car moves the map to where we're tracking. Right? It makes sense for me in the car. For some reason on here, it doesn't. When I see, because our weather map is, I'd never switch that. Like that's track up. But I kind of like that because it's showing me what's ahead of me in weather.
Yep, I get that too.
You know?
Yep. Interesting.
But for this, like navigation purposes, I have a hard time doing it the other way.
I have a good understanding of both perspectives now.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. All right, so we've got the information. We're talking to Indianapolis Approach. They're setting us up for a vector. We're on our initial descent here from 6,000 down to 4,000. They're vectoring us for 23 right. I'm actually going to load that in here. Proc, approach.
Sir, 4 Charlie Charlie, sir, additional 5 degrees right.
5 degrees right, 4 Charlie Charlie.
Do the ILS 23 right. Well, let me go back here. I don't even know if that will have it. Yeah, it's got the visual 23 right. And we're getting vectors. Load and activate that. Yep. Pretty non-eventful flight so far. Wouldn't you say? So 23 right, just from a taxi perspective. We're going to go park at Millionaire. So we're going to probably get off at either, if I can put it down right at the numbers, Alpha 4. So that'll probably just be then Alpha 4, Alpha, Mike to the ramp. I like to try to get my route down. He did ask me where I was parking too. So he's going to kind of queue that up. Let's see if we can get...
Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie, traffic 1 o'clock, 3 miles, opposite direction, VFR, altitude case 5,000. I believe it's a Cirrus.
Alright, we're looking for that traffic 4 Charlie Charlie.
You see him on the scope here, so he's going to be... So he's talking about this guy right here. He's 1,100 feet below me. He said he'll vector me. We can see him here on his track. So...
4 Charlie Charlie, looks like they leveled off at 3,500. If they continue that track, they'll pass off your right wing about 1.5 miles.
Thanks, 4 Charlie Charlie.
Yeah, look for him here. He's about 1,000 feet below us.
Lift
Oh, there he
670,
is.
register turn in Squawk
See him?
VFR, free change approved.
Squawk VFR, lift 670, see it.
Got that traffic, no factor, 4 Charlie Charlie.
4 Charlie Charlie,
God, he
thanks.
looks
Contact
like he's
approach,
flying.
121.1, show sequence in for 23 right.
121.1, forward Charlie Charlie.
What'd you say, honey?
He looks like he was going so fast.
Well, it's because we're going opposite direction.
Approach Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie, descending 4,000 on a 235 headed.
November 524 Charlie Charlie, and the approach altimeter is 3000, fly heading 190, vector to final.
190, 4 Charlie Charlie.
November 4 Charlie Charlie, get the visual or do you want the ILS?
No, we can do the visual, 4 Charlie Charlie.
Roger.
There's downtown. You can kind of see it in the haze there. See
Yep.
it? Let's see what we're doing here. Yeah, so he turned us kind of far out. Not sure why originally, but obviously for traffic. So now we got to come back in and do it that way. All right, altimeter set, landing light is on, fuel quantity is good. We've been in manual because we were a little imbalanced there. Mixture set, we can go full mixture in a little bit here. A little bit lean. Your seatbelt's good?
Yep.
Seatbelt's good and seat backs are good.
Indy citation.
Brakes are good.
Alpha is,
Descent checklist is done.
Via the snake bit 2.
November 522 Juliet Alpha, and the approach altimeter is 3000, expect runway 23 left.
Let's see what
3000,
we...
expect 23 left, 522 Juliet Alpha.
Tower's going to be 29. Put that in our standby. And we've got ground frequency in there. All right, I feel good. No blinking. I got in trouble with Thomas on that. He's like, don't leave stuff blinking. Blinking's bad. So the headwind kind of hurt us. About an hour and a half. That's not too bad. Never been to Indianapolis. Have you?
No.
I'll be curious to see how nice it is. I've heard decent things from people that say it's a cool city. Got some big towers over there. You see those?
Yeah.
So it's really cool. This loads a visual approach in here. So we're not on an instrument approach, but we're doing a vectors to final on a. It's built like the computer's like made a fake approach to kind of keep you.
November 4
what?
Charlie Charlie, descend to maintain at 3000. Advise the airport in sight is currently at your 1 to 2 o'clock and 12 miles.
3,000, I have the field, 4 Charlie Charlie.
November 4 Charlie Charlie, clear for the visual approach, runway 23 right, contact tower 120.9er.
Clear for visual 23 right and over to tower 20 time. 20.9, 524 Charlie Charlie.
Oh, stumbling. So yeah, it's built this visual approach in here, which is really cool.
18,
Because sometimes when you're trying to judge a perfect descent in a visual condition,
3000, expect 2 left.
it can be hard.
000, 23 left, thank you, Florida.
Get that big jet up there,
Where's he at?
right above us. You can see he's
Oh, way up.
179
Yeah.
tower, runway 23 left at Charlie 2, line up wait.
23 left, line up and wait, lift 179.
Tower Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie, visual 23 right.
Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie, Indy tower, runway 23 right, wind 170 at 8, clear to land.
Clear to land 23 right, 524 Charlie Charlie.
I made another mistake with audio here. There's basically no more audio for the landing of this video because I was shooting a little Instagram reel and I could have swore that, again, that little record app still recorded if I was recording something else like a video, and it did not. So it cut off the audio and I didn't realize that. So I'll speed this up. It was a total nothing burger approach, just a nice little visual approach into 23 right into Indianapolis. It's pretty cool on final here. You can see to the left is Millionaire with all those jets sitting there, but right in front of us is a Delta 767, I believe, and that was the charter plane for the Lions. So that was pretty cool. Got to taxi by that when we went into parking. And I didn't make Alpha 4, so I turned on Alpha 5, contacted ground. Ground told me taxi Alpha, cross runway 14 at Alpha, and then Mike to the ramp. A real straightforward taxi into a great FBO. If you're ever going into Indianapolis, Millionaire was really great. And it was only $50.
Ground Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie, we're at Millionaire, and we got the PDC.
Taxi 4 Charlie Charlie, into ground, runway 23 right. Taxi V Mike and Alpha, cross on 14 Alpha.
Mike Alpha, cross 14 Alpha to 23 right, 524 Charlie Charlie.
Cirrus 4 Charlie Charlie, just verify you got 3,000 for initial altitude.
Hey, firm on that, 3,000, 524 Charlie Charlie.
Thank you.
I honestly didn't know what to say when I was queued up to taxi. I told him I had the PDC, but I don't honestly think I even needed to say that.
All right, before takeoff, or or no, we wouldn't be normal takeoff. So pretty cool, big victory. I'm actually gonna take this down because it doesn't work. The batteries are dead. Just set that back there for me, can you? Just set that back on the floor even, it's fine. Wherever. So what's really cool is my PDC worked. I know Tracy, you're probably like, what the, whatever. But it, I filed a flight plan on the Uber back, and it came through my text messages like perfect. Got it all set up. Did all my pre-flight check stuff on the ramp, and we're good to go. Didn't have to call and get a clearance. It was all in the text message, super perfect, easy. Just saved a little step.
Perfect.
What's it?
Super perfect.
Super perfect. Got the victory. Got a little night flight back. We've got a beautiful sunset going on here. Put our probe heat on. It's pretty warm, but
Why is that red?
because at night you don't want any white lights in the cabin, it makes your eyes trip out, so they're only red. And I can control it through this. I can make it go dim and brighter. You've got this one, which is white, like if you wanted a light. Pretty easy in and out, if you ask me.
Taxiway.
It's only 5:30. I'm texting so quick, it thinks I'm taking off.
We have a tailwind.
Yeah, we'll have a tailwind.
Tower, Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie. We're holding short of 23 right at Alpha 1.
Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie, Tower, fly runway heading on 23 right, clear for takeoff.
23 right, clear for takeoff, fly runway heading 524 Charlie Charlie. 16 over golf, it's ready, 23 left.
All right, runway heading, we've got that locked in here. We've got the altitude locked in there.
King Air 16 Hotel Golf, Indy Tower, South heading 180 and 23 left, clear for takeoff.
Heading 180, clear for takeoff.
23 right is in the window.
16 Hotel Golf.
It's a nice runway, isn't it?
And 9 off kilo, are you ready? It's been 3 minutes since the non-heavy has taken off.
Yeah, we're ready, 9 Alpha Kilo.
9 off kilo, 23 right, line of point.
23 right, line up and wait, 9 Alpha Kilo.
All right. Get our runway heading in here. And autopilot. That's all she wrote.
600.
Go.
Cirrus 4 Charlie Charlie, turn right, heading 300 and contact departure.
300 and over departure, 524 Charlie Charlie, Sip.
Tower, Southwest 36, 38, visual.
Departure, Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie, 3000 and a 300 heading.
Cirrus 524 Charlie Charlie, departure, ready to contact. Before Charlie Charlie, turn right, direct Pontiac.
Direct Pontiac, 524 Charlie Charlie.
Cirrus 942, you're ready to contact 10 miles west of Famil. Turn right, direct Famil, one left for altitude, 23 left.
All right, well, there's not much else to talk about on this one. We got the victory. We're on course back home. You're gonna take a little nap. We'll be there in just about an hour. Sounds good?
November 8 Hotel Golf, turn 20 degrees left.
One thing I didn't have in my older G2 was an ice light. That might be part of the Fiki requirements, but it's super nice to have to see, especially on a night like this where you just have some low cloud layers and temps are freezing. It really, really is nice to have. So I just dropped off Tracy and walking back up to the plane. This plane at night does not get enough credit at how well it's illuminated. I mean, my stupid phone doesn't do it much justice, but the interior lights, the step lights, the wing lights, the lights underneath there, this thing is really, really nice at night compared to even the lights up there. You can see the lights that run, see if I can focus that, the lights that run along the top of the cabin, just really nice. I mean, it's super bright in there. I've flown, or even by the, you can see where the passengers plug in their stuff. I mean, I've flown some clapped out 172s that, you know, you had to deal with a flashlight that was really not good. You can see they got the little Cirrus logo on the bottom there, that little thing. It's just really, really well done. Good stuff. So it was marginal coming in. I was gonna go direct Pontiac, but ended up just dropping her back at 9 Golf 2. So I'm gonna jump back in and head back to Pontiac. And one thing I haven't shown off is the night vision, or the infrared camera. I'll show you on the other side here. This little guy down here, that's the, I think they call it the EVS camera, enhanced vision system, I believe. But yeah, coming into a little airport like this, there is a fence that runs that way, but this is not a fenced-in airport, and we have a lot of deer over in this area. Lights went off, but if you hit one button, they'll come right back on, or my key fob. So yeah, coming into this area, airport at night, I hate this time of year. Hunters are pushing the deer around, and yeah, they can be on the field. So that little infrared camera is like a nice little safety net. So I'll fire that up on the way in.
All right, change it to runway 9, because when I was coming in here, it was almost due cross, almost a little bit of a tail up above about 1,000 feet.
Linden traffic, Cirrus 524 Charlie, Charlie, taxiing on to runway 9, departing straight out Linden.
So we're going to go back and use all of the runway. And as I mentioned on the ground there, we'll turn on our EVS camera. It tends to look washed out until you need it. What I mean by that is like flying through a cloud layer, you can see through the cloud layer, or on here, if an animal runs across, we'll see it pretty clearly. But when I bring it up here, aircraft systems and video, it looks more or less washed out, but it's really, you'd see something on there for sure, pretty far off in the distance. All right, 50% flap. Let's turn our probe heat on.
Watching this back, I'm like, what am I saying? I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this system. Just one thing to note here is you can adjust the contrast and settings in here, which I did not do, but I think this view for these couple of seconds here really shows it off really well. You can see ahead of me the runway is just complete blackout, but down on the EVS you can see the runway markers and the outline, and as we continue to climb you can see a lot of things are on the ground, especially at night when, like, if in an emergency situation, landing, you can totally tell if there is a field, if there's something down below. that's really where it shines, and I just did a terrible job of explaining it. But very cool system.
Yeah, so it gives you a little bit better view up here. You can kind of see a little bit nicer. So really like that into coming into those remote airports. Or honestly, when I was flying in, to see how thick the cloud layer was. When I was flying in,
600.
There's a scuzzy layer at like 2,300, more like 3,300 feet. And to be able to see that is really, really nice. Or to see, I should say, to see how thick that is. Because you could see, it was hard to see the ground, but I could see it was very, very thin, could see right through it. We'll go back to our map view here. 25. What's that? So, yeah, that's about it. Definitely got these little marginal conditions. I originally wasn't going to go into Pontiac. I wasn't going to go into Linden because they were forecasting an overcast layer at like 3,000 feet. And I didn't want to have to do an IFR out of there at night. Just didn't feel like it was smart. But then as we got here, it was just kind of a little broken layer at 3,000 feet or 2,800 feet.
Cirrus 4 Charlie Charlie, you parked outside, correct?
Affirmative, 4 Charlie Charlie.
Cirrus 4 Charlie Charlie, wind is variable out of the south at 5, gusts up to 8, altimeter is 3000, runway 2, change to runway 27 left, runway 27 left, clear to land.
27 left, clear to land, thanks, 524 Charlie Charlie.
I knew that was going to happen. Winds are variable, altimeter set. Landing lights on, boost pumps on. We didn't really change anything from our little jaunt. But anyway, what I was saying was I told my wife, I'm like, hey, this wasn't a smart call to just, go into Linden, then file again and get out of there, like I said, at night. Kind of like what I did on the way there. But it broke up. I was able to get in visual there, and I'm at 2,000 feet right now, and I'm plenty below it. I got up to 25 and I still wasn't in it. Just marginal scuzziness. All right, let's pull this power back. Put in our first notch of flaps. We're being the numbers. All the temps look good. It's funny at night that there's like a soccer dome or something. I guess I can see it now, but it's not lit up at night. It's a great visual cue for a base to final here. And I don't see it. I went to look for this white soccer dome and it wasn't there. Because obviously the lights aren't on tonight for some reason, or maybe the lights are never on. All right, we'll put our below speed here, put a second notch of flaps in here, just get slowed down. And everything's a little different at night for sure. There's 90 knots, stabilized, still coming down. But yeah, these trips, like I said about the Green Bay trip and this trip, it's just, this plane is such a workhorse for that kind of stuff.
500.
It's fast, it's comfortable, it's, aside from the capital costs, it's really not that expensive. I mean, I burned 50 gallons of fuel. in total. Touch high. And it's a little bit of a tailwind right here. Only 5 knots. But yeah, this platform, I just absolutely love this plane.
Tower Challenger 88 Romeo Charlie, RNAV 27 left.
Challenger 88 Romeo Charlie, Pontiac Tower, wind 180 at 6, altimeter 3000. Your number 2 following a Cirrus, short final, no factor, runway 27 left, clear to land.
Clear land number 2, 27 left, 8 Romeo Charlie.
Put it down there pretty firmly. Always a little harder at night with the depth. Got a little slow, rounded out a little too high, but it was totally fine.
Cirrus 4 Charlie Charlie, turn left at Charlie 7 and taxi Charlie to the ramp. Have a good night.
Charlie 7, Charlie to the ramp. See ya.
Shout out to Pontiac. This is, I'm telling you, I know it's my home base, so I'm partial, but this place is the best. And Apogee, if you're in the Metro Detroit area or anywhere near, because I'm not even Metro Detroit, I live a half hour north, Apogee is the absolute best. I'm telling you right now, hands down. I'm not just saying that because I know they're going to watch this, but they're worth their weight in gold. Being a business owner, I know what it's like being in the service industry or former business owner, and they do service right. And it's just, these days you just don't see that often, and when you do, it's great, absolutely great. Everybody from the maintenance guys to they even employ full-time detailers, usually during the day when I come in, the guy comes out, is cleaning the plane. They have full-time CFIs on staff. I mean, it's just top to bottom. Their scheduling team is great. It's the best. I'm forever spoiled, and I would never do it any other way. All right, till the next flight. I think next week I'm going to Canada, so that'll be the next one, and then I'm going to Florida, so that'll be coming
Tower
up
8
as well.
8 Romeo
See ya.
Charlie is going to the Astro Park.